Vaughn, the Executive Director at the local Community Food Centre. When I started here 5 years ago, 1 in 10 households were food insecure. 5 years later, that number has risen to 1 in 9. So the dial is going in the wrong direction. I'd like to know what your party is going to do to eradicate poverty and food insecurity in our nation.
Thank you, Deb, for the question. Food insecurity is such a tragic issue and one that has to be addressed with more urgency. The Liberal Party has some measures to help address this issue in the short term, whether it's putting money towards children's food programs at schools, or providing money and programs for reducing food and increasing supports into soup kitchens and into food banks. But these are just short-term measures, much needed. But as you have stated, the problem has increased and will continue to increase because of the pandemic. And so I think one of the issues that we're bringing forward that can help indirectly is affordable housing, and addressing and creating more affordable housing, working with municipalities to create more affordable housing faster, and building it faster will first help people have a place to live, and so then they can have more security, and essentially their situation improves, and that helps food security. But we also have to get back to pushing for people to be able to make a living wage, and we've done, or well, I should say the city of Stratford throughout the United Way has done a lot of initiatives throughout Stratford to push this issue, and it was certainly an issue in previous campaigns, and so we're from a federal level, we're committed to also pushing this issue forward with an increased minimum wage for federally regulated workers, but also when we're putting money towards PSWs and creating more PSWs, having them have a livable wage, so that the hard work that they're doing, they can put food on the plate for the family. But I think this issue is going to continually need strong focus. I know the universal basic income is an issue that we had a pilot for here in Ontario that was prematurely scrapped by the Ford government, and I think that needs to be brought back in order to get the research that we need in order to develop a program that best meets the needs, so no one and no family and no children go to bed hungry.
Thanks for your question. It's an important one, the balance of earning versus affordability. And we know it's out of whack. The NDP plans to raise the minimum wage to $20 an hour with an eye towards guaranteed living income for all Canadians. So we have that support. So when times get tough, we're not having to make the terrible choice of whether we pay for rent or we pay for food. That should never be a choice. Also, you probably know, we want to initiate a universal pharmacare, dental care, mental health care. That gives a lot of support to families. It also takes an economic burden off of them. All of these things are going to help. Now, I want to talk about food insecurity. We will create a national food policy, and that's going to involve initiatives like school nutrition programs and education around the kinds of foods that we should be eating and consuming. We also want to implement a national food strategy, a food waste strategy, because as you know, Canada is a world leader in food waste. That has to change. And also, we want to develop and support initiatives like the local. at community food hubs and community-supported agriculture so that we can connect local farmers with consumers. The work you're doing at the local is exceptional, and we need to support that and encourage that across the nation, and that's something that we would support wholeheartedly, and I personally support wholeheartedly. So that was a lot of information download because they only gave me 2 minutes. But I wanted to give you those ideas where we would balance an affordable life with good food strategy. Thanks, Deborah.